Yo, you guys, your twerking looks incredible right now.
I just want to say we learned a lot from that. I learned a lot from that.
Yeah, I really did too. Especially the motion that you need to get all the booty juices float. Not the booty juices, but the booty fat.
No, that was, yeah, I mean, so if you watch the replay of the Moonual, we did address fat elimination through twerking, which is actually major for our culture right now.
Sorry for my...
It was one of those Moonuals where I was like, I'm gonna watch this back.
Yeah, no, yeah, that one was really
Like, I feel like, dude, even just after twerking, I felt so much better.
for real. I felt way better.
I was like ashamed of myself. And I do dance. I dance walk everywhere, I dance walk everywhere. But the fact that I wasn't, now we really know how to be aligned as booty dancers.
Yeah, exactly.
The freedom.
Aligning our whole bodies, moving all the things we don't always get to move.
I'm fucking loving it. Okay, so we just finished the Zoom Moonual portion. I will post a replay that you can watch if you want to. And I did put in the bio, if you went to it and you want to work with us, we made the Moonual prices available. So just, buy our services. Should we start this whole thing over? It's not about selling. Okay. The bottom line is we're not quite done yet because we fucking live for the hang. And with the moon, you got to ride the wave. And when it's full, you got to play, right? So we're actually here to now do part 3 because like any good show, it is a 3-act structure. So you could watch the beginning before, you could watch the Zoom Moonual in the middle, and now here we are, alas, a 3rd act. So Spicy and Nicole are going to sort of, they happen to be channels from the other dimension. So I'm just going to kind of like let them talk. But honestly, what I can promise you is that we're going to have a sound bowl and card readings. Okay. Otherwise, I have no idea. Honestly, it's up to the universe to pass that.
I don't even know if we can promise that, but you know what? We are going to run this ritual.
It's not about forcing anything.
It's about going with the flow and going with what the moon says. And so
going with the flow.
We did some journaling stuff earlier. So from anyone who just joined us from the Moonual, please get your papers ready. We're gonna burn it together. Maybe we could just light it while we play a little gong.
Yeah. So okay, here was my question for you. I have a question for you about this.
Yeah. What was your sincere?
I'm feeling embarrassed about something, but because it's the Moonual and we're open to sharing, and I hope I don't look too sweaty, but honestly, I'm sweaty. So let's be out being real. Honestly, Pisces moon is the dew. It is the sweat. Okay. So like this is Pisces moon ship. So I'm really excited about burning stuff with you all. Okay. But I'm a Cancer Capricorn, and as a creature of habit, I have a cauldron that I usually bring around with me. But this time I actually even had to check my bag. It was so overstuffed. I didn't have room for it. So now here I am at my aunt's house, my grandparents' old home. And the truth is, I kind of confessed to you before, I'm not too domestic. And so I actually want to identify before we burn anything and before we tell you to burn anything. So I have a few options for fire safe bowls. And I want to know what is actually fire safe. If this might be Sabrina's alley, like, can you guys just tell me if you think these things are fire safe or not?
Here's one of the things, the easiest thing, right? Because we don't have a cauldron either, but we have an old candle container, just your old candle that has like...
Okay, I was about to pitch my grandma's china.
Maybe you can, but you might mess
Here's
up.
the thing. It was her birthday yesterday, and so in a way it's like, but you're, okay, so then I thought a ceramic bowl from IKEA.
I don't know if the ceramic, I don't know.
Okay.
Google.
If it's a hard no, I'll just go get a candle holder. What a great idea. I'm such a fucking idiot. Okay, but I just want to say, for anybody that's wondering what they can burn if they don't have a candle holder,
If you have
how about one of these glass bowls that's like for cooking and preserving food and warming things up?
Yeah, if you got a Pyrex bowl, anything oven safe, literally, you can put heat on. So anything oven safe. The pot, yes, the pot works.
Am I gonna ruin it? One time I got in big trouble for scratching the inside of the pot. Is this that kind of pot?
But you're not going to scratch. You're just going to put something on fire and put it on.
Look, what happens in the pot has nothing to do with me, okay? I can't promise anything, same as you can't promise anything, okay? So I think the consensus is, for my options, we're going with the Pyrex, the glass bowl. Okay, great. Thank you guys for that. And honestly, we want to make sure that we're covering our asses here because we know that we could get in big legal trouble if we don't do official disclosure. So burn safe.
Okay, so I actually want to run and get the because I want to speak the mantras while we light the papers, right? So I'm gonna go get that real quick.
Oh my God, fun. What is she getting? I didn't hear.
She's getting the mantras.
Oh yes, the mantras. Oh my God, yes.
She's gonna get the
Fabulous.
mantras. She'll be right back.
Oh my God, how are you feeling, Spicy? You are a Pisces moon.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling called to see what's happening in the spiritual dream world.
I can't believe we even went there at the Moonual. We really astral traveled tonight.
We really did. We really did.
So fun. Okay, so do you have everything you need?
Back, yes. So I'm gonna say some mantras, and if you're out there listening, you can repeat after me. I'll say it 3 times for each mantra while we either play some bowl at the same time, so you can listen to both vibes. And then directly after we're done with the bowl and the mantras, this is when we grab our papers and our fire safe, bowls, whatever they are, Pyrex, candle holders, cauldrons, whatever you got. And then we're gonna light it and put inside. So we're right here by the door. We do recommend you do that, outside. Sarah's really outside. I'm gonna open this.
Also have water or seltzer. Do you think, okay, there's a question. Is seltzer worse than water to put out a fire? I have coconut water and seltzer. I could go get water.
It's the same.
Okay, great. So just have a beverage to put it out with. Not sure what sugar does, but I don't know about anything.
Keep some water by you, and we're gonna just put it outside. It's kind of drizzling, so hopefully it burns out and we're safe. That's why we're not outside. Otherwise, we would have been outside. So
Love it.
let me know when you're ready, Sarah, and then we will begin.
Are you kidding me, bro? I've been burning all day. Let's go. I personally, just so you guys know what I do, depending on how comfortable I am with a large or small flame, so I'm going to experiment with how paper all burns differently and the wind sometimes. So, and you might have air conditioning on. So maybe try a little bit first. I sometimes like to rip it into pieces and then light one and then let the others do the work on the inside, And in fact, what I'm going to do just because I'm a fraidy cat, I'm going to put my little bowl in the big bowl.
Perfect. Safety first. Virgo in style. Take your precautions.
I have no idea if it makes it safer, but it makes me feel better.
Okay, here we go. To start, take a breath in as usual. And out. Repeat after me. I take full accountability for the way that I feel moving forward. I take full accountability for the way that I feel moving forward. I take full accountability for the way that I feel moving forward. Take a breath in and out. I dedicate myself to working towards changing my perception to align with the highest vision for myself.
Let the fears burn.
I dedicate myself to working towards changing my perception to align with the highest vision of myself. I dedicate myself to working towards changing my perception to align with the highest vision of myself. And last mantra. With the power of this full moon in Pisces, I now choose to give power to what I am creating. With the power of this full moon in Pisces, I now choose to give power to what I am creating. Last time. With the power of this full moon in Pisces, I now choose to give power to what I am creating. We're back. I patched it up. I'm gonna show you.
I love the Pisces full moon.
Yeah. There it goes. Definitely lit the fire up. Oh wait, it's going, it's going, it's going. So the Virgo had some doubts.
Whoa!
When she put it in, the whole fire basically came out.
Okay, metaphor.
Metaphors on metaphors. Yeah, you should move it the other way so it doesn't
down that way because
we're about to have a fire. 222.
Get your seltzer, ladies. Get your seltzer.
I have water right here.
So now something I want to say. This is a good message for everybody. So here's the thing, right? You don't have to burn it all at once. Also because I felt like my eyes were actually, smoke gets in your eyes is right. I don't want the neighbors to think we have a real problem. I am screaming in the yard, at the middle of the night. So I should be respectful. But what I want to say is, the paper gets to be whatever it means to you, right? Like, I mean, I'm so Cancer Capricorn. There's been times that I've done moon rituals and like burned some of it and then like I've put this much into like a Tiffany box and like carried it with me through the world, right? So for me, I know myself. Letting go is a gradual process. I don't until I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done. But it takes me a while to let go. So for me, I have to actually move through my process with myself, burning tiny pieces of paper so that I can make choices in the real world. I'm so sorry that I'm so weak that it takes me that long. But you know what? The moon cycle cannot be rushed. So however long, if you want to burn it all tonight, fucking go for it, bro. If you actually want to sleep on it and let go of what you let go of and then go back to it tomorrow and put on music that you choose or listen to this again, North Node's in Gemini, do everything twice. So, so there's no pressure. You can't do this wrong. The twerk girls, that's what they said too. There's no wrong way to twerk, but there is proper alignment. You can find that at the Twerkaholics and at the Moonual, at our last Moonual.
We honestly should make some little cutouts of like us all twerking because that was perfect.
Dude, we honestly crushed so hard. I was so proud of us. Natalie, how's our fire marshal doing? What does she think?
It's not burning 100%.
But I really tried my best to actually. I tried my best to believe in letting all that go, and I don't
She's
Yeah, well,
trying.
sometimes it takes time.
The Virgo conundrum is trying to believe, trying to believe.
Yo,
Life is all Pisces, right? So we have the perfect metaphor playing on a life, and like I said to somebody the other day, all of life is poetry. Your whole life is poetry.
you know
Everything
what's
is.
so funny? So my Venus is in Virgo.
And
I have multiple kinds of clients. My only clients that are one-on-one that like actually like support me and that I give a lot of service to, I'm here to like work with the Virgos because that is the whole thing. Virgo, you can't rush it. You have to enjoy the moment. It's the amount of paper that burned is perfect. There's not anything to control. Now, I want to be clear to my Virgos out there. You know, stay good. You are the master. Be the master. You can do it. But is your decision to do it ruining your fucking day? If it is, and you might get a lot of points from your ego for being that achiever, but ultimately, unless you can also be that divine feminine that can receive and that can actually pull in her harvest instead of missing it because she's still out in the field or found another field or is developing a different field, you're going to miss it. So the other part of Virgo is where Pisces comes in. It's like, that's why if you need to elevate in some way, or you need to listen to music, or you need to take a bath, or you can do something to play with the senses, it helps ground you in this moment in a way that doesn't make you want to, you know? So, I say to you, Natty, thank you for your fire. Thank you for your concern on the fire. But I feel that you have some slow process letting go to do. It might take us tomorrow.
Where we are, we're all letting go in our slow process. I've been letting go for years, and I find
Years.
I'm still letting go. So here we are.
But it's also in the country. It's also like America. Like, you guys, the politics has been like this. The prison systems have been like this. The healthcare has not worked. At a certain point, one of my Virgo clients the other day was like, why do all of the most important lessons have to hurt so much? And I said, I'm like, that is such a Virgo thing. But I said, because otherwise you can take the pain.
Yeah.
You don't even know you're in pain because you can just stomach it. So you actually sometimes have to it has to be so much so that you actually can move on.
Yeah, we're meant to transcend pain, the Virgo Pisces axis. We're meant to transcend it through the work we do for others and the work we do for ourselves. It's as simple as that. So continue to do that work. Us doing this is the work.
I hope you feel better. I definitely feel better.
I feel better. I had
You
fun
guys
twerking.
made my night. What a great year. You guys really made my year.
It's been great. It's going to be great.
And that's what the last thing I guess I'll say is this is the end of the Pisces moon cycle, and we're going to begin a new moon cycle moving forward. But what's different about this year? Why is this year different than all other years? That's a little inside joke from my Jews, a Passover joke there. But usually after the Pisces full moon, we then move right into Libra season. But because of what happened during the summer, during that eclipse cycle that actually had us having two Cancer new moons, the reason that this year is different than the other years is that instead of now expressing and then starting a new cycle from a little baby degree in Libra, we're starting a new cycle what usually would be the year before, which is we're actually starting a new cycle in an advanced degree of Virgo. So whereas most years we would go Pisces full moon, l'chaim, let's everybody opa, let's take shots, it's over. Now we're going to restart in Aries Libra. Not the case. We're actually now we have the ability to kind of take it in different directions, but really the highest I would say like iteration of it would be to actually use it to jump timelines and actually step into that Virgo role that you've been preparing for all your life. Make that Chiron make sense, make that Saturn, put that Saturn to good work, make your chart make sense. If you want to do a consultation, Nicole and I and Sabrina, and we all actually have different ways of helping you figure out what to do with yourself at this time to actually step into that. Lucia and I are also doing leadership coaching. So I'll put it on the bio, but I made a link. If you came to the Moonual, if you watch this, you get the Moonual menu, the Moonu. I'll put that link in the bio. You can work with us and we can help you figure out how to actually work with yourself in a way that doesn't erode the rock into sand like super fast. We need rock that is happy to be there. So thank you. Just from Sabrina is a rock. I hope you're happy to be here. You're big time rock energy. Woo. Can we talk? Can I ask you a question? Are you guys tired or no?
Go for it.
So I won't get into the nitty gritty, but Sabrina's chart, it's pretty. It's not that it's exceptional anyway. She's a master. She's a master Earthman with a lot of witch water power. Okay, but you know, I've been having these like intuitive hits lately, and I'll be like, "This is who you were. This is who." So I was reading Sabrina's chart, and I said, this chart has big George Washington energy. And then we looked up the chart, and in fact, it was a similar chart. It expressed extremely similarly. Then randomly, we ended up in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
We did not plan that. That was not planned.
Yeah, it was not planned for anybody to look. It wasn't like, we're gonna do this at this month. It was
Never
just like,
mentioned it.
time, let's do it. Let's go.
Well, it was like I had an opportunity to go somewhere, and then it was like, well, it's a moon ritual. You guys should come be with me if we could be together and not like get my parents sick or whatever. So you came, and so we found ourselves in Philadelphia doing a Moonual, and so we went to George Washington's house, and we actually redecorated a little bit. We put a candle, we did some stuff, but I wanted to check in with George now, if I could, while you're rocking the bowl. I just want to know, have you, since you've been to George Washington's house, have you thought about it again? You never thought about it again? It meant so much to you. You're rewriting the Constitution. Like, where are you at with your experience as being one of the founding fathers that was actually wearing a wig and here to actually not telling the whole truth?
Well, honestly, we'll let the bell ring out. Honestly, when we first
let freedom ring. Let freedom ring.
Let freedom ring. No, but honestly, when we had first came to that realization, I was like, I don't really get it. Like, I don't see this energy. I don't see how I could be.
It's one of the most random things. Sometimes I'll say it to people, though, and they'll be like, yes, that's me. You were like, okay. And I was like, I'm telling you, you're George.
Like, and then it was like, okay.
Ding dong, you are George.
And it was like, okay, whatever. Playing around with it, right?
That's what the whole thing is, just playing.
Just playing. But then we went to Philly, and it was like this, I've never been to Philly before, so just being amongst a lot of history like that was crazy. And also being with Sarah and Nicole, I was in a very like observer mode naturally, just because this was the first time me and Sarah were actually hanging out for the first time, and I had
that's so crazy. I can't. That's why the Moonual actually is so intimate that I feel like we hang out all the time.
Literally, and I didn't even think about it like that either. But me being who I am and entering, like, meeting someone new energetically, in the sense of like being
it was a studio apartment, babe.
Yeah, and it was. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say with that. But either way, I was naturally...
You like me?
I do, and I love you. And it was naturally in an observer standpoint, right? So I'm observing and I'm watching you guys and I'm learning. And I'm also learning different ways how we're all bosses and different ways that we work. And even watching you work was like literally witnessing my brain in front of my head. Like the way that it was like, we have
some
ideas.
people can't stand me.
But I loved it. And so with that being said, that I was in this observer state. So when we're in Philly and we go to George Washington's house, I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, we're playing along, right? Like, this is funny. But like, is it funny? Because honestly, I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I could see where the similarities and shit, and also just it helped clarify.
Did George just shout out from the other side?
Dinging, bro.
No, you didn't accidentally. You didn't. No, dude. Okay. I'm sorry. I just want to say something. Okay, let's backtrack for a second. Sorry to still be crunk coaching, but what was that quote that was on the George? Trust me, I have all the footage, but we cannot go through it because we don't have the data yet. But okay, so what was the quote that?
The thing about that quote is that I said the whole damn quote. I don't remember because I was screaming over Italian. So I literally have to keep asking Sabrina. I'm like, what did it say again? Because I don't even know.
I don't remember exactly what it said, but basically the gist of the Liberty Bell was to bring people back to center, to remind them that we're here and remind them that to just reel it in really quick. And once we saw what the Liberty Bell meant.
No, first of all, you're
Like,
doing it was the Liberty Bell was his house, and like here you are with your bell, you're carrying it around the city with us like it's an essential item, okay? And also there was that quote too that was like, if George Washington from his, I don't know, did he send a message or something? George Washington from
oh
his
yeah,
grave. That was the first thing, and then we walked to the bell because it was like, because you were like, oh, that's kind of my thing in my community and with sexuality and with sort of my witchiness and all of it. And then we
so
realized he's wearing a wig.
yeah, and so well, backtracking to when we stepped into George Washington's house. So I do have medium-like abilities to where I can feel and sense people from the past. I'm not saying I'm connecting to George Washington's motherfucking like soul because I'm not.
No. It's all just play. But the truth is, we are one.
Yeah, and I could just
We have access to different energies, but she's not George Washington. She's Sabrina, and she's here, and we're on Earth, and she'll recycle a million times and be some other great leader.
exactly. But with that being said, with being at the house, and there's just talking about the energy and everything, and on his fireplace, they had the person talking and saying that. What did
Okay, wait, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. No pressure. You rang the bell. We know you're here. I'll just make it easy for you. Okay. We know that there were actually a lot of things that you were not vulnerably sharing. So I'm just gonna say. Okay. Let's see. Quotables.
Because the display monitor was like talking about the slaves that lived in his house and from their perspective, and it was talking about like how. But then we were talking about how really they were a family. They were technically family. So it was quote unquote slaves that were also kind of like in the family because they were mixing lines and whatnot. And yeah, all I know is a lot of guilt was I don't know.
We could have prepared better for this, but I'm just launching into it because the Pisces full moon asks this of us. Okay. But the gist of it was like, George Washington, either like on his deathbed or someone wrote about him who knew him, said his greatest wish on his deathbed. That's what it was. They said his greatest wish on his deathbed that the country would continue to lead in the areas that he did not get a chance to finish. And there was something I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, and be more vulnerable than I was. It was a quote that was basically saying, I'm a liar and a fuckboy and I'm toxic masculine, but I do have some good qualities and I am going to build a country on the good qualities.
Yeah, and basically saying that it wasn't over, that it was just the beginning.
Wasn't over.
Yes, and that's where I felt affirmed in the sense of when he basically getting that energy of it's not over, and there is more work to do off of that, of being vulnerable. And that's what clicked in me in activating my superpowers and letting go and coming out of the witch closet, like you said, of actually embodying this and embracing this and realizing that, yes, I'm going to have to be vulnerable. Are those vulnerable truths going to have to come out right now? No, I have to heal them and let them go in order to be vulnerable, to share, to help others and things like that. So
you can only burn as much paper as you can burn at a time. Smoke was getting in my eyes. I had to pause for a minute. And you know what? I like taking forever. I'll do it in the bath later. Fuck off.
Exactly. So that's what this whole George Washington thing really did for me. And after coming back from Philly, that whole thing of the Liberty Bell and me wondering, like, can I do this? Why am I doing this? What is this that I do channel, or, just second guessing myself. And the Liberty Bell with that was like even more of a confirmation, if anything. And coming back from Philly and coming back from George Washington's house, it really has been that stepping into this and stepping into the leadership role and having to do the refining with the leadership roles is like educating myself, maybe doing a public speech class or something, like just learning.
Lucia and I will teach you. We do training, and we just switched to Zoom. We have a whole new platform. You're in, barter. You're in.
Boom. And so, it's little things like that. But with this Pisces full moon has been doing too with my emotions is like, really, well, do I even want to do this? It's like the illusion of like, I kind of want to opt out. And it's like, wait, why? So it's like, I had to, after I did my bath, I had to really sit and be naked and vulnerable with myself, which I haven't done, and actually be like, you silly fucking goose, fly like a bird, like literally. Sorry.
Well, it's interesting though, because it's like what you're talking about is so insane, because you're not doing it because anybody's paying you. You couldn't stop if you tried. So what you're really saying is, do I actually want to be like honest about who I am? You're not saying, do I want to be doing this? You're going to do that in your closet either way.
Exactly.
It's like, you can't be like, actually, I'm not gay.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I guess you can. I guess sexuality is worth exploring. You can have preferences, but it is a little bit like being like, okay, the truth is I suck dick. And then it's like, if you're like, yeah, but I actually don't. It's like, if you do it, that's cool. Do it. Fucking suck dick, dude. Like,
Yeah.
all good. All good. And like, whatever is all good for you is all good. Dr. Ruth says, you know, there's nothing that's not normal when it comes, aside from we're anti-pedo. We're not doing pedo stuff. But so long as everyone's a consenting adult, you know, there's no sexuality that's wrong or bad. Similar to how there's no like witchcraft or self-development tool. Nothing is good or bad inherently. It just, we were talking about this a lot on the Moonual, but it's like, we are here to get lifted, not necessarily to not be on Earth, but to be on Earth and have this access to this higher dimension of imagination. And if music gets you there, if sound bowl gets you there, if smoking weed gets you there, if coming gets you there, if talking to friends gets you there, it's all good, but you have to show up and do it. And the minute you do it in front of people, it's a million times more powerful. So you don't have a choice as to be, I mean, dude, the fact that you were wearing that cape, and in Philadelphia, there was like a lantern moth infestation. So there were like bugs flying around us. One of the bugs flew in the candle. It got stuck there. Sabrina's dressed like it. She's literally wearing the cape of the pattern. It literally looks like that. It was a beautiful moth. Everyone was stopping it. I thought, these are so beautiful. It really looks like a pattern. And you matched. And so, you know, even if it's silly or we're reaching or we're just kind of like putting things together that don't make sense, the bottom line is there's some underlying, when we can all agree to have fun in this space, it's like good improv, right? You agree, okay, this is the reality. And then where you end up is kind of like, oh shit. And that is the kind of experience that if you track the moon cycles and if you know your chart and if you just play with the idea that, you know what, you could be George Washington. Does it help you? Does it help you deal with, I mean, I remember when I was doing your reading too, I won't get too into it, but you have to pay Moonual membership for that. But you, no, are you George? No, you're Sabrina. But you are Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and you're actually, if George Washington, that was the thing, we were like, George Washington is wearing a wig, he has bow legs, he's wearing those Forrest Gump, you know, braces. I don't know if that's true, but I picture him that way. I think he was sort of an invalid, and Hamilton wrote everything. That's why Hamilton is Hamilton. Again, not sure if Lynn got that from anywhere. I liked the music. I didn't like him in it. But the bottom line is we ended up at George Washington's house, and actually it was like, the synchronicities were fucking bananas cool. And it made, even just thinking about the things that brought up for all of us, even for me, you think I was planning on being like, I'm a psychic and I knew Sabrina was George Washington, and I'm a comedian, I'm a life coach, I'm a producer. What do I call myself? You know, hilarious. I'm a you know, a playtime healer. Like, you know, I'm a party girl healer. Like it's like, you know, but we don't have to label it. You don't have to be George. I don't have to be any label, but we do have to follow those instincts where it's like, okay, let's play. And I appreciate you guys both, because the minute I met you, you were down to play. And Sabrina, even if we didn't meet until now, we met at the perfect time. And the minute we met, you were down to play. And in fact, we've been playing this whole time. We've done every Moonual together, and you play. So even if Sabrina's not there or George is not there, someone is showing up and playing. So you better deal with it.
Facts.
Damn.
Step into it.
Yeah. And we all have to. That's what that Virgo new moon is about. We're not jumping into Libra Aries season. We're jumping into mastery. So own your gifts, own who you are. Do what Nicole told me this time last year, which is stop doing the work that's not for you to do. Do the work that you are here to do, and do it the best. Do it better than anybody does. And other people do the other work because that's their work. To actually work in community and share the burden. You want to know something? I don't have it in me to do a sound bowl right now. I'd rather hum to myself under the moonlight later. And maybe I'll share that someday. But, you know, I did one of Lucia's creativity workshops, and I sang the song I wrote in the 5th grade, and it was highly liberating because I always thought it was good, you know? So we have to actually see all these parts of ourselves and play with them in order to step into our mastery. So that's your homework for the next 2 weeks. It's like, see where you're resisting following your instincts or playing that song or crying if you need to, and actually lean into it and see if you can actually finish the movie.
Yep.
Maybe I'll read your chart next, and you'll be a whole other historical character, and this is like a whole series, and we're just gonna go do grid work around where famous people lived, you know? Oh wait, one last thing, and then Nicole, if you have it in you to pull cards, that'd be cool. But I have one last question for Sabrina. Can you tell them about your vision board?
Oh, my vision board. Yeah.
No, it's so awesome.
On my vision board, during coronavirus, well, I guess we're still in it, but during beginning of quarantine, I had found a National Geographic top places to travel in 2020, and I found a magazine, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a travel manifestation board. And
Hilarious thing to do at the time of the plague.
Yeah, for real. But I guess some part of me was like, fuck it.
No, it was the right thing to do, dude. That's the whole point.
Yeah. So I just picked out any fucking places. I didn't really like, I want to go to Bali, and was like, I was just like cutting. I was really about feeling. I was really just.
Well, that's what when you vision board the right way. We used to have vision board parties all the time. You're not supposed to. You actually are supposed to meditate first and journal things out first, and then you're actually supposed to kind of check out and then just cut around the feeling. Like you're doing it right actually without coming to a workshop.
Ever doing that, and I never Googled it or Pinterest or nothing. So I just did it based on whatever.
A natural leader.
You know, but I was just cutting out random things. And I know when we got back from Philly, I was actually dancing in my room, and I don't really look at this travel manifestation. It's on my closet. I pass by it every day, but I was dancing in my room. And I had found out the day that we were coming back from Philly, I found out that my ex got engaged. So it was this actual, and it's totally fine. It was just like this moment of like freedom almost. I don't know why. There's a whole
Let freedom ring.
Yeah. But so I was dancing around in my room, and I turn around and I see the love sign from Love Park in Philly on my manifestation board. And I was like,
which is literally where we stayed.
It's across the street from the apartment.
Basically at Love Park.
And
I've been tagging all the Moonuals at Love Park. If you look back at the Moonuals that you've been doing them at Love Park. I don't want to give anyone my address, but I'm tagging Love Park.
Yeah.
That's insane. And so I was like, wait, is that? And I was like, no, maybe there's like another Love Park in like another major city or whatever. Like,
I mean, I'm sure there are replicas, but like this is the statue.
And I literally looked at the photo that I have on my phone
that we took,
and I like looked at the buildings in the back, and then I looked at the photo from the manifestation board and the buildings on the back,
Same
and it
building.
seriously matched.
So it wasn't. It was literally. If it was, it wasn't. It was literally the picture.
Yeah.
It was literally the picture of Love Park in Philly. And honestly, after that, I was like, okay, well, I have a bear and like a tiger here. Let me just make sure we're a little bit more specific in how we come across these adventures. But
whoa, no, Sabrina, that's the whole point. You can't control it. You have to know that you're gonna just assume that when you see the bears, you're gonna be safe. You have to notice the part of you that goes, I'm gonna be attacked by a bear in the wilderness, right? Like that's not necessarily what's gonna happen. You're gonna be taken on safari. You're gonna be taken to the woods by someone wealthy. You're gonna have so much money that you're gonna go by yourself, and you're gonna be in a tank. It's all good. You're an army. You're a military.
yeah, so
amazing.
Shit was crazy, and it was all sorts of confirmations and things and synchronicities since that Philly trip. The very
even the timing, the fact that you're a Pisces moon and this is like the culminating moon, and this is we like hung out for the first time last moon, and then now it's like it is your coming out, and like we didn't know that about each other. We didn't know but that's how we got introduced to each other. And this is a good herald, you guys. This is an improv show. If you want to learn improv, go to Lighten Up Leadership. Lucia and I are facilitating workshops. But this is the work of being alive. It's not just improv. It's actually saying yes to the offer from the universe and seeing where it takes you. And that's what you did. And that's what you both have been down to do with me from day one. And not that many people are fully on board the way that you guys have. And in fact, I'm fully on board for you because, lead me. You know, I don't share the stage with that many people comfortably. And I like when you guys talk better. So it's a real pleasure. This has been a great a great year in full moons. The cycle's not over yet. We have one more chance to do a new moon ritual to set in stone the leaders that we are. But no, there's actually no pressure on it because it's, you know, when you did the sound bowl the first time before the ritual, all I was thinking of what we were talking about before, which was the spiral up. It just sounded like a spiral up to me. It's not a different story. You don't get over anything, but you do spiral up if you let yourself play in all the storylines along the way. They're at the bottom of the ocean, and it's the shipwrecks and the shipwrecks and the shipwrecks until you're like, oh, the sun.
Yes. So I pulled 2 cards while you guys are talking, and the perfect cards: 2 cups and 10 of cups. So what does that mean, right? Because this is the soulmate card, and this is fulfillment. So in a lot of ways, and it came up reverse, but I'm going to read it both because it is relevant. And we keep talking about it. It's like all these faded new encounters that maybe aren't so new. They're ancient. We have like you guys meeting finally officially and even talking about it now. And this is this energy where it's like, look, it's all good. We've let go of a lot, and we're really coming into brand new fulfilling relationships. Like very fulfilling in ways that we didn't understand. We wanted to be fulfilled in ways that maybe we didn't allow ourselves to be filled. In these ways, we're coming into it new, and these people are coming in with brand new lessons. So don't miss it. Don't miss these opportunities. The people that are coming to you now are so faded, are so important. Have the conversations. Ask for what you want. Ask for help. Put your ideas out there and see what manifests. Because if we're a product of that, I mean, there are people who want to play the game. I've been waiting for that for a very long time as well, because I show up and I'm willing to do it, even if, you know, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but here I am.
You know, your literal first show ever was like at the Stand, and it was like at like the best comedy club.
That's crazy. And I mean, that goes to show all of how the relationships I was calling in and my trust, because once you showed up, I was like, okay, this feels fulfilled. This feels like fulfillment just in the moment of meeting. So if you meet people like that, don't shy away. If you feel fulfilled in that moment of meeting them and in that conversation, take it to heart, reach back out, make the next move, and keep that going. Keep that energy going. These are the relationships that matter now that are coming in. Let the ones go that aren't doing it anymore. I'm talking to myself. And
I thought you were talking to me.
no, I mean, maybe. We're talking to you too, Sarah. We're talking to
Soul
all
fam, soul fam. It's all of us. It's
Soul fam.
everything. It's everything. It's also just like the structures that we're attached to. It's the food that we eat. It's everything. Get real.
Like
I don't want to. I don't want to either. I love fucking around.
There's some Soul Train dancing to like Soul Fam music.
Oh, yes.
What we're all doing here. So enjoy that fulfillment, because there's lots of new faded connections coming your way. I promise you, open your eyes and be open to it. That's all.
So be open to new relationships with new people and new relationships with old people who actually were not even being themselves yet. We've been in a karmic wormhole, but the bottom line is at the end of every interaction, do you feel fulfilled? And if you do, stay. And if you don't, talk about it. And if you talk about it and you still don't feel fulfilled, gotta go. Get the material, get out of there. May you all feel fulfilled. Happy full moon.
Stay centered.
Happy full moon.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Love you.